Well, all right, let's talk about Anthony Richardson of the Indianapolis Colts, who had a very disappointing game here against the Green Bay Packers, a game many people thought the Colts would win. The Colts were favored and ultimately lost. And kind of the story out of the game was, a lot of it was Richardson's, definitely poor box score. We'll get into some of the turnovers. But I want to start off with a play like what you see on the screen, because this is what I saw a lot of from Richardson, was just not being able to hit the simple stuff, which is a big issue when he was in college, right? He's this, incredible athlete, cannon for an arm, but just sometimes the simple stuff isn't so simple with him. Play like this. You see the route on the screen. This should be an easy 3-4 yard gain if it gets open. When this play begins, you're going to see that it does appear to be about to get open. So, okay, good situation here for Richardson to try and make this throw. However, as you see, him and his receiver not quite on the same page right here. Also, sorry, it's a little bit choppy. I had some internet issues going on, so this is the best I could record, so apologize about that. But yeah, that's Adonai Mitchell and Richardson who are trying to get together on that play, and really they kind of struggled getting chemistry down, I thought, in this game. There was a handful of plays that they just couldn't quite get down. Like this one's another one where it's one that, watching it live, you might just say was a missed throw, and maybe it was. Richardson was under pressure as he had to throw it, kind of sidearmed and didn't get a full follow through either, but it still was low and behind Mitchell, who was open on that play. So this is another example of plays that could work, just not being able to work. Also, this one, which is going to be a messed up handoff. Richardson, to his credit, able to dive on the football. Give him credit for that for sure, but not quite able to get this done smoothly either. Again, is that his fault? Is it Taylor's fault? I don't know. But the main point of this section of the video is to just show, these two, Richardson and his teammates just aren't on the same page on some of these plays, and that's a big thing they have to work on if this is a team that's going to have any success this season. And sometimes both things were true, where you see the kind of the messed up snap, and then Richardson throws it underneath right there to Michael Pittman in a way where it's not a catchable ball for Pittman. So fumbling the snap and messing up the throw there. So a lot of areas where Richardson just needs to improve upon. And again, a lot of this might just be the team together not having good team cohesion, but still, that all starts with the quarterback. He has to be better. I don't know fully what to make of this next play. It's a man coverage concept. You see the concept on your screen where you have a receiver running a deep shot, which can hopefully take away the safety, and you have a more over-the-middle type route on this play. Richardson's going to take the snap. He looks in that direction, and he's going to fire in that direction. Again, a bit off balance right there, so I do wonder how much that factors in. You see, there's a receiver open. I mean, this can easily be a completion and a big one. Get you well in field goal range at this point. This would be a nice throw to have here. I think this is just a missed throw. Look at how far off that is. And again, I watched Richardson a lot in college. When I did my evaluation, I watched every snap of his college game, and I don't think I've ever seen someone who would miss by more than he would miss. His hits looked awesome. He is capable of fitting the ball through a mailbox, and he's also capable of hitting the mailbox on the next house over, trying to aim for the mailbox, right? He'll have some wild throws, and to me, this was just a wild throw. And then some other poor decisions like this one where it's a zone coverage concept for the Green Bay Packers. And this over-the-middle route, one that can work on paper, absolutely. And so I get why Richardson's going to look in this direction. And, it is worth mentioning as well, given the situation, you're down 13 points, you're just outside of field goal range right now, but you don't need a field goal, you need a touchdown. So being a bit aggressive, I can understand the logic behind it. Richardson takes a snap. He is going to look in that direction. And as of right here, this play just isn't open. And I think what's even more frustrating is that it's once again Adonai Mitchell. You look just over towards the right of that black circle. He's wide open. And again, to be clear, I'm someone who kind of always is more forgiving of not seeing everyone on the field because, you can't see everyone on the field at once. For example, the halfback kind of just below Richardson is also open, but, that's not where his read is, so I'm not going to blame him for not seeing that. But the way this play is constructed, if the linebacker covers the player I've circled in black, which clearly you see he's doing, then you look over to Mitchell. So if Michael Pittman, the player I've circled in black, is not open, you look towards Mitchell. That's Richardson's read right here. It's a pretty easy one, to be honest. But Richardson still tries to throw it to Pittman, and that just wasn't open. So On some of these plays, it was, good defense by the Packers, maybe not the best offense by the Colts. But then there's plays like this, which is just him not reading the play correctly, and a play that worked by the Colts not working because Richardson was the one who screwed it up, turning what should have been a catch and a first down into an interception. There were some positives. Something like this was a key one where it's a 4th down and 11. You do see the athleticism. I think one of the issues is you didn't see as many of these types of plays in this game. Week 1, we saw enough of these types of positive plays to offset the bad ones. Week 2, we just didn't. But as you see, heavy blitz from the Packers. Richardson is able to do some nice work getting out of the pocket. Also, well-blocked play by the Colts. You're right here where Richardson, again, for most quarterbacks, you're thinking this is not going to go well. You're not going to be able to pick up this first down here on a 4th and 11. But Richardson does. And I mean, listen, as bad as it was in this game, and it was, you still do have these types of plays that make you say, okay, this is why we keep him. This is why we're trying to develop the other stuff, because if we can, then we get a guy who is capable of doing this. So what's to make of all of this from Richardson? Look, it wasn't a good day. It just wasn't. And I mean, when you have a high variance player, you're gonna get some of this stuff. And it's all about essentially the ratio of how many positive plays does he give you and how many negative plays does he give you, and does the good outweigh the bad? And it's a balancing act, essentially, right? That's the case of every quarterback. With quarterbacks who don't make a ton of mistakes, it's still about will he give you enough good plays to make it work? Like a Teddy Bridgewater, he won't make the mistakes, but will he give you the good plays to make him a starter, right? Richardson is someone who will give you the good plays, but also will give you the bad ones. And, you think about the comparisons. The main one is Josh Allen, this physical freak who, in the first couple years of his career, made way too many mistakes. And while he definitely has gotten better at making mistakes, he still is someone who will make a lot of mistakes. Like, that still is a part of his game. It just, he gives you so much more positive plays now, it more than makes up for the negative plays that he will still make on occasion. For Richardson, obviously getting the mistakes down is going to have to be a part of it, and sometimes it goes together. Getting the, instead of making a mistake, making a positive play. Like, it goes both ways. But, I do think that for someone like him, it's not just about getting the mistakes down, but also you want to see him, I think, sometimes just be a playmaker a little bit more, because he is so good at that stuff. In a game like this, he didn't really give too many. He had one nice scramble, threw across his body. It was called back due to a penalty. He had a couple, but didn't have a ton of those positives to really make up for the negatives. Like, again, I think week 1, he had enough positives to make up for the negatives. This game, not so much. So, a tough situation, because I do think the Colts have a pretty talented team, and this was a winnable game. He just wasn't quite able to play great. They have some winnable games coming up on their schedule. The Bears, Steelers, Jaguars, and Titans are their next 4 matchups, and the Dolphins after, who don't have Tua now. So those are 5 games that I'm not going to say they should win, but just 5 games they have certainly a shot at winning. And I think for them to win, Richardson just has to play better. That's just how I viewed it. I think this is probably Richardson's worst game so far in the NFL, but at least that means nowhere to go but up. And we have seen him play better. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.